Hi, it's Carmen. Welcome to my channel on living with rheumatoid arthritis. Today I wanted to hop on and make a short video about my experience in tapering off of prednisone. I have been on prednisone for over 20 years and I just got off it this June 1st, 2016 is the first time I've been prednisone free since I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So I have tried to taper off prednisone many times, and I could usually only get down to about 10 milligrams, sometimes down to 8. But then I wouldn't really say I would have a flare-up. The pain would get worse. I would feel exhausted whenever I tried to go down a milligram. I couldn't sleep. It's weird because it makes you not be able to sleep when you first get on it, but then when you try to go off it, you can't sleep either. So I think it's because your adrenal system is, pumping out extra cortisol, and I don't know. I don't really know. But that's my experience. And so although I've been on prednisone about 20 years, every time I'd go to a new rheumatologist, if I'd switch insurance or something and have to see someone new, they would always be adamant about, we're going to get you off that prednisone. We're going to get your inflammation under control, and then we're going to get you off the prednisone. Well, the inflammation never would get under control, so I never would get off the prednisone. I did a video on the side effects of prednisone, and it's a really long video, but there's a lot of side effects. So I'm going to link that video below. But the more and more I would read about the side effects of prednisone, I just really wanted to get off of it. I think I was diagnosed in '94. In 2002, I got on Enbrel. It just came on the market. And I was able at that time to get below 10 milligrams. I think I was at about anywhere between 10 and 5. And I don't remember how that tapering at that time went. But by 2006, I was on Humira, and I was doing horrible. I wasn't doing well at all, and I was on Humira, diclofenac, and the prednisone, and the Humira stopped working for me, and so I was back up again, like at 20 milligrams of prednisone, and I stayed on that for quite a long time. Then it's only been like the last 4 or 5 years. I have a new rheumatologist that I really, really like, and she's really smart, and she's really always looking at ways to treat rheumatoid arthritis. And I was the one that was starting to get really adamant about getting off the prednisone. And I've tried many times, and she'd say to me, well, just start going down, 1 milligram a week, and if you're ready to get off it, you just need to get off of it. And I thought, I can't go down 1 milligram a week. I might die, Everything I'd read about adrenal fatigue and adrenal crisis, and I don't believe that much in adrenal fatigue. I think that's a marketing scam. And I'm probably going to make some people mad by saying that. Of course, I do believe in adrenal crisis and Cushing's syndrome, where people really do have a crisis and end up in the hospital because their adrenal glands aren't working, and that can happen for a lot of reasons, not just tapering off of prednisone. So you do have to work really closely with your doctor, but you also have to find out a way that works for you. And for me, it was going down a 0.5 milligram at a time. Once I got under 10, I had to go down a 0.5 milligram at a time. And it was always my plan to go down a 0.5 milligram for 2 weeks, then another half for 2 weeks, and that way I would get off the prednisone 1 milligram a month. And it didn't really work that way. It took more like 2 months for every milligram that I went down. And when I got down to 5 especially, I kind of held steady at 5 for quite a few months because I just couldn't seem to get any lower than that without being totally exhausted. And I wasn't it wasn't like I was feeling great and I was going to feel bad when I went down the 0.5 milligram. I was already feeling bad. So I just couldn't get myself to do it. Now when I made that video a year ago on the side effects of prednisone, I really was determined, you know, I wanted to get off of it. And I'd already had the cataracts, which I had taken out. My skin had gotten really quite thin and was tearing and scarring. And I just wasn't feeling that good, and I just really determined to get off of it. So I talked to my doctor again, and again she said, well, just go down 1 milligram a week. I just told her I couldn't do it. And plus, my pain wasn't well controlled. And at that time, a year ago, I was on tramadol for pain. And that was helping me, but not a lot. And especially when I started to go down on the prednisone, it didn't seem like the tramadol was helping me. So I got switched to Vicodin. And I'm going to do another video on pain medication, so I won't get into that too much, but I don't think I would have been able to get off the prednisone without the Vicodin. And even though I was so determined finally to get off of it, I don't think I would have been able to. So I was finally able to. I think I was down, I was going between 3 milligrams and 2 milligrams for a while. And then I ended up having emergency gallbladder surgery. And my surgeon came, you know, I had a meeting with my surgeon the next morning, and he said it ended up being a complicated surgery because my tissues were so degraded. And I thought, what does that mean, you know? So I'm in the hospital a whole other night, and he comes in the morning again. I said, you know, I don't know what you meant by that, my tissues were degraded. And he said that the fibers and collagen in my tissues were broken down. So as he was trying to get my gallbladder detached from, I don't know what it's attached to, your stomach or lining or something, that my tissues were tearing. And I told him, you know, that I thought I probably should tell my rheumatologist about that. And he said, it's well known to any doctor that that's happening to your tissues if you're on prednisone long term, like I have been on prednisone. And I was so determined to get off of it after that, I didn't even go back. After I got out of the hospital, I did not even pick it up again. And I told my rheumatologist what he had said, and I said, do you think it will improve now that I'm off? And she said, well, we hope it will improve. So anyway, that's just a weird feeling to think that, you know, my insides are degraded, and I know my skin has that issue now. I understand that more, but anyways, I dropped down that other 2 milligrams and I was just off it, and that's how it was. And I think, you know, I was tired and I was on the extra Vicodin because of the surgery, so you know, I was just resting for a couple weeks, and so I didn't notice, honestly, I didn't notice that I had gone off of it. And now I do notice since then. That was June 1st, and it's December 7th right now. I haven't been having great gung-ho days. The one goal that I have every week is to swim, and I have a 3 times a week very light aerobic swim class, and I haven't been making it swimming very much these last few months. And you know, so I'm in more pain in general being off the prednisone, but I'm so glad to be off of it. And I hope that if you're looking to get off of it, that your doctor will work with you. Ask for pain medication if you can. And you know, I don't know, it takes determination. I don't know what it takes to finally get off of it. Like I said, for me it was the surgery, and that was it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Thank you so much for subscribing. I did pick up some new subscribers this summer, even though I haven't put out a video in so long. So hello to you, and take care until I see you next time. Bye-bye.